When an HOA demolished a black woman's bridge, the one connection to her land and her late husband's memory, they thought she'd bow down. But instead she opened the dam and drained their $1.8 million lakeside resort. What happened next will leave you speechless. This isn't just a story about property. It's about loss, arrogance, and one woman's fight for justice. At the center is Evelyn Harris, a 55-year-old widow and former school principal. Her property sat on a quiet lake, passed down through generations. Her late husband, Michael, had built a small wooden bridge that connected their land to the main road. The bridge wasn't just wood and nails. It was a symbol of their love. Evelyn crossed it every day, and every step reminded her of him. But to the HOA that controlled the nearby luxury resort, it was an eyesore. They wanted Evelyn gone, and they were willing to destroy everything she loved to make it happen. Evelyn's house overlooked the water. The bridge, though weathered, was sturdy. Locals respected it, but the HOA board, led by its president Gregory Shaw, had bigger plans. They had invested millions in the resort next door, private cabins, boat docks, and manicured lawns for wealthy vacationers. Evelyn's humble property didn't fit their glossy brochures. One day, Evelyn received a notice. "Your bridge violates HOA safety codes. Remove it immediately." She laughed bitterly. "This land's been here long before your resort. That bridge isn't going anywhere." But the HOA wasn't asking. They were warning. It happened on a crisp morning. Evelyn woke to the sound of chainsaws and heavy machinery. She rushed outside, her heart pounding, only to see construction crews tearing down her bridge. "No! Stop!" she screamed, running toward them. Gregory stood there in a crisp suit, arms crossed smugly. "Mrs. Harris, this is for your own good." That bridge was unsafe. Liability for the whole community. Tears stung her eyes as she watched them rip apart the planks her husband had laid with his own hands. Every splinter felt like another piece of him being stolen. When it was done, Evelyn stood at the water's edge, staring at the empty gap. Her connection to the world gone. Gregory smirked. "You'll thank us later. Or better yet, sell your property. We'll give you a fair price." But Evelyn whispered, "You'll regret this." What the HOA had forgotten, or maybe never knew, was that Evelyn's family owned more than just her home. Her great-grandfather had built the original dam at the far end of the lake, and along with the land, Evelyn had inherited legal water rights and control over the dam's mechanisms. For decades, she never touched it. She had no reason to. The water fed the lake, supported fish, and created the sparkling view that made the resort so valuable. But now, staring at the ruins of her bridge, Evelyn realized she held a kind of power Gregory had never imagined. Evelyn spent sleepless nights debating. She wasn't a vengeful woman. She had lived her life with patience, kindness, and faith. But when she saw the HOA's glossy newsletter, boasting about their $1.8 million lakeside resort expansion, her blood boiled. They had destroyed her bridge while flaunting their wealth built on her family's lake. Finally, she whispered to the photo of her late husband on the mantel, "Michael, forgive me." But they took what was ours. Now I'll take what's theirs. On a stormy evening, Evelyn drove to the dam. The air was heavy with tension. She gripped the wheel, her heart racing. She climbed the metal stairs, her flashlight cutting through the darkness. At the top, she reached the rusted levers. For decades, they'd stayed locked untouched. Her hands trembled. "Once I do this, there's no going back." She pulled. With a groan of machinery, the gates creaked open. At first, a trickle, then a roar. Water surged out of the lake, cascading into the river below. By dawn, the sparkling lake was gone. In its place, muddy banks, dead fish, and a collapsed ecosystem. The resort's docks sat tilted in the muck. Cabins that once boasted lakefront views now stared at empty dirt. The $1.8 million investment? Drained, literally. Gregory stormed to Evelyn's house that morning, livid. "You insane woman. Do you know what you've done? You destroyed the resort. You'll pay for this." Evelyn stood calmly on her porch, arms crossed. "You destroyed my bridge. You desecrated my husband's memory. You wanted me gone. Now your resort has no lake. Sell it if you want. See how much it's worth now." Gregory's face turned red. "We'll sue you for every penny." Evelyn smiled bitterly. "Go ahead. The dam is legally mine. The water rights are mine, and you have nothing. The HOA tried everything. Lawsuits, smear campaigns, even threats. But the law was clear. Evelyn had water rights in her deed dating back over a century. Courts ruled in her favor. The resort's investors pulled out. Families cancelled bookings. Within months, the HOA board collapsed under debt and shame. Neighbors who had once looked down on Evelyn now came quietly to her door. Some apologizing, others simply stunned at her defiance. She didn't gloat. She didn't celebrate. She simply rebuilt her bridge plank by plank, this time stronger than before. One evening, as the sun set, Evelyn walked across her new bridge. She paused in the middle, gazing at the drained lake bed. It wasn't beautiful anymore, but it was hers. She whispered softly, "Michael, they thought they could erase us, but they forgot we've survived worse, and we always rise." Her fight wasn't just about a bridge. It was about dignity, about standing against those who believed power made them untouchable. And in the end, Evelyn proved that the strongest power comes from courage and memory. This story isn't just about an HOA gone too far. It's about resilience, about one woman's fight for respect and justice. When Evelyn's bridge was demolished, they thought they had broken her. But instead she reminded them, never underestimate the strength of a woman protecting her legacy. If you found this story powerful, don't forget to like this video, share it, and subscribe for more stories where justice always finds a way. Fade out with dramatic music and text. HOA demolished Black woman's lake bridge, so she opened the dam and drained their 1.8M Lakeside resort.